Hey everybody, Josh here with Terradrift, and today we're launching the first in a series all about taking care of your gear. Because here's the thing, we love gear. You probably love gear, but most of us don't spend nearly enough time loving our gear, as in taking care of it. And that's kind of a travesty, because properly taking care of gear, like sleeping bags, tents, and rain gear, can prolong its life by years, like years. And that matters from a sustainability standpoint and from a financial standpoint, frankly, because when gear lasts longer, it means we're tossing less into landfills every year. But it also means we're not buying as much new gear made from new materials, which are usually non-recyclable synthetics. So yeah, making gear last is a win-win. A win-win-win if you consider that, tents are expensive, and frankly, I don't want to have to buy a new one every single year or every other year. Do you? Anyway, that's why we've teamed up with Nikwax, who's sponsoring this video to share how to clean and protect your tent. Any tent. Camping, backpacking, circus, so you can enjoy it longer and keep it out of the landfill. Oh, and did we mention Nikwax itself is also sustainable? How so, you ask? Let me tell you. For starters, Nikwax was the first outdoor company to offer water-based waterproofing for clothing that could be used in a home washer, not an industrial setting, and to have a completely PFC-free line of products. That's right, like all their products are PFC-free. They were also the first to offer a line of waterproofing products that never used aerosols full of harmful propellants and solvents. And they were the first, and so far only company, to carbon balance its operations all the way back to the brand's inception in 1977. Yeah, they actually funded carbon neutrality going back in time. How dope is that? Plus, all their products are water-based and totally biodegradable. That's a big win. The brand also operates on what they call the 4 C's. Those stand for clean chemistry, carbon balancing, conservation, and consumption reduction. So yeah, like I said, sustainable cleaning and care products from a sustainable company. But brand info aside, let's talk tents. Most are designed with some sort of DWR coating, some PFC-free, some not. And if you want to learn more about PFCs, we'll put a link to an article we wrote about that in the description below. Anyway, DWR stands for durable water repellent. Durable, but not permanent, meaning it needs to be reinvigorated from time to time. Yep, that's right. Just because your tent has started leaking like ours did after a 2-day downpour while camping in Maine doesn't mean it's time to replace it. In fact, there's a pretty dang good chance that that DWR coating it came with just needs refreshed. How often it'll need refreshed depends on the tent and how often you use it. See, smoke, sand, oil, even the oil on your skin can build up on the tent fabric, attract moisture, and wear out those DWR treatments. So the more often you use a tent or other piece of waterproof gear, the more often you should clean it to keep it functioning. We like to give our main backpacking tent a good cleaning once a year or so because it sees quite a lot of use, probably 5 days a month on average. But if you're only spending 2 or 3 weekends a year camping, you may be able to go longer between treatments. But tents need more than a good washing every now and then. Because UV rays, like from the sun, are extremely dangerous to gear like tents. In fact, according to Nikwax, just 2 weeks of exposure to harsh summer sun can reduce the strength and longevity of delicate fabrics by half, meaning they can tear and puncture easier, meaning they'll end up in a landfill sooner, and that's no bueno. And if you're already working with delicate ultralight fabrics, like we are with this Big Agnes Tigerwall UL2, well, consider taking extra care. Fortunately, washing and protecting your tent with a product like Nikwax's Tent and Gear Solar Wash and Solar Proof can not only clean and re-waterproof tent flies and floors, but can extend their life by up to 50%. So here's how to do it. Grab yourself some Nikwax Tent and Gear Solar Wash and Tent and Gear Solar Proof. Pitch your tent, ideally outside, but if you have to do it inside in a garage or something, put a tarp or something down under your work area. Then spray on the solar wash and use a soft cloth or sponge to gently rub in the wash. make sure to spend some time on especially dirty or grimy spots to make sure everything gets good and clean. Then wipe clean with a damp cloth or rinse clean. We used our trusty model water bottle with a shower attachment. And then let it air dry. Too easy. If you're doing a whole tent fly, consider washing it in sections so the cleaner doesn't dry on one side before you get back around to it. Then grab your solar proof. And fun fact, you can actually do this while your fly is still wet post-wash. Just spray it all over your tent fly and or any tent fabric that regularly sees the sun. No need to go crazy here. If you spray so much that you can see white streaks running down the fabric, you can probably ease up on it a bit. Just use enough to coat the fabric. Our 2-person backpacking tent maybe used half the bottle. Then let it sit for about 2 minutes. Wipe with a damp cloth and let it air dry. Ta-da! Your tent is clean, waterproofed, and UV protected. And do make sure your tent is fully dry before you stuff it back in the stuff sack. You don't ever want to put a tent away damp, because damp equals mold and mildew, and that crap doesn't scrub out. So since we now assume you're ready to wash and waterproof your tent, as we've armed you with both the know-how and the reason why you should wash and waterproof your tent, we'll put links to the Nikwax Tent and Gear Solar Wash and Solar Proof in the description below. That way you can grab yourself a couple bottles and get to it. And of course, if you have any questions or, I don't know, stories about your own leaky tents that we can all laugh at, commiserate with, feel free to share them in the comments below. We would never laugh at camping misfortunes. As always, thanks for watching. If you've been informed or entertained, don't be shy. Hit the thumbs up, then click subscribe and ring the bell, because we've got lots more fun and occasionally useful videos coming down the pipe. Then check out terradrift.com for even more content that you won't find on YouTube, like interviews with your favorite brands, lists of our favorite gear, and outdoorsy how-tos. And follow us on all the socials. We're at Terradrift on Insta, Facebook, and Twitter. Whew, that's a lot. Now that that's out of the way, grab some Nikwax, take care of your gear, get out there, and wander on. I wonder if you could use this to solar-proof your skin. Oh, you know what? That's what sunscreen's for. Just kidding. Actually, you should probably wear gloves when you use this, so don't put this on your skin. Either one of these. That would be bad. Yeah, use gloves. Solar-proof for tents, sunscreen for skin. Just go ahead and just do that. That's probably more responsible for all parties involved. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now, so get out there and solar-proof that tent. Okay.